You know the way that every now and again a washed up has-been celebrity will say something controversial in a desperate attempt to remain relevant? Well, today we'll be looking at Whoopi Goldberg. Yes, we know that she's an award-winning actress, and given that she's called Whoopi, she also has the stupidest fucking name on earth. But does anyone under the age of 30 even know who she is? Because I'm buggered if I can think of anything she's done since the mid-90s. Maybe she has a huge volume of work, but if so, it's completely passed me by. But she's found herself in the news, forced to issue an apology, after she made some of the most ignorant and racist comments ever heard on her TV show The View, which I also hadn't heard of. During the show, she was discussing the decision made by a US state to ban the children's book Mouse. Now that's an award-winning book about the Holocaust, a topic which you would think she would know you have to be very fucking sensitive when discussing. But Goldberg made the frankly idiotic claim about the worst thing that has ever happened, that the Holocaust wasn't racially motivated. So first, a heads up to any woke people who may be watching who are doubtlessly already crying. The type of people who are keen to label every white person as a far-right racist. Now, the eagle-eyed among you may note that Whoopi Goldberg and I are different colours. But it transpires that doesn't stop her from saying some really racist shit. She said words to the effect that the final solution wasn't racist because what took place happened between two groups of white people. Now, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I'm not. That's the same as saying that the genocide in Rwanda that took place between the Hutus and the Tutsis wasn't racially motivated because all the protagonists were black. How fucking ignorant does someone have to be to not see that the genocide carried out by the Third Reich, a regime obsessed with Aryans and racial purity against the Jews, wasn't racially motivated? Well, you have to be as ignorant as Whoopi fucking Goldberg. Predictably, her supporters took to social media to try to defend her. And let's be honest, this is defending the indefensible. They said that the Soviets murdered more people than the Nazis. And that's true. But firstly, when did it become a competition? And secondly, the difference is the Nazis took murder and industrialised it. Others pointed out that the Nazis also murdered the disabled, homosexuals and gypsies, as if that made it okay. It just proves what monsters they were. Honestly, the more I hear about the Nazis, the less I seem to like them. Now, just to be clear, I'm not Jewish. In fact, I'm part German. But I find Whoopi Goldberg's comments utterly disgusting. And given that she spent so much of her career talking about the oppression of African Americans, and of course that's a good thing, we need these fucking conversations. But it buys into the narrative that the only form of racism is white people oppressing black people. The same as when we discussed the slave trade, and right now there are more slaves in the world than there were during the height of the transatlantic slave trade. But that's the only one that ever gets discussed. And I know, as a white guy, if I say anything about race, there are hordes of people waiting in the wings, waiting to label me with all their ists and isms whilst they scream and cry. But fuck 'em. Whoopi Goldberg's comments on the Holocaust are every bit as racist as those lunatics who set fire to crosses and have a habit of wearing their bed sheets. Other morons try to defend her by saying that Judaism is a religion and not a race, therefore the Holocaust wasn't racist. And to those people I'll say this: try setting fire to a mosque and use that argument in court. So Whoopi took to Twitter to explain that although she'd said that it wasn't about race and it was about man's inhumanity to man, actually it was about both. What a half-arsed excuse for an apology. I know this video hasn't been upbeat or humorous, but I've made it to make a point. And that point is that anyone can be racist, not just white guys with shaved heads and tattoos who I normally get lumped in with. Anyone, including a black woman using her celebrity to essentially say all white people are the same. Now, if I did the same thing about any other race, I'd be deplatformed and probably fucking jailed. Racism is racism, end of, and it's vile in all its forms. In the same way that bigotry is bigotry, regardless of who's peddling it, and whether they're using their ancestral victimhood to hide behind it. I've got no way of ending this video. I'm genuinely fucking angry. So I'll let you get back to your day. As ever, thanks for watching.